Most wedding venues in my area wanted $10,000 to $20,000 for food, decorations, or photography. Me and my husband knew when we got engaged that we did not want to spend that much money or even more on one day for a wedding. So our wedding was about $5,000 with 80 guests, and we didn't go into debt. We didn't take out any loans. So today I'm sharing exactly how we did it, what we spent, and what we would do differently, and some funny moments that actually happened along the way. And I do have some good B-roll footage for you guys from my previous vlogs. I did vlog my wedding. I will put a link here or here, wherever it may be, if you guys want to go watch that. And I also have some photos and stuff that the photographers took as well.
And it goes a little something like
Hey guys, it's Zoe and welcome back to Zoe and Amaya. And today I have a fantastic video for you guys for my girlies who are getting married soon. And this is just how to budget your wedding in a low cost without spending tens of thousands of dollars. And you're going to want to stay towards the end of this video because I have a fantastic chart on how I budgeted. It's a chart that I created for myself. You can tweak it, recreate it, whatever you want to do. I will have B-roll footage of it, screenshots of it, and I hope you guys really enjoy. Also, I know that Gabe and I were very privileged to have this opportunity. The money was given to us for this wedding, and we chose to not spend it all, which is why we chose to have a low budget wedding. And the money that we had left over, we used towards our debt. We didn't even use any of the leftover money for our honeymoon. We saved up separately for our honeymoon and also budgeted our honeymoon and still had money left over from that. So I know that not everybody has, this luxury, and I'm very grateful. And I just want to, make that disclaimer out there. But no matter whose money is in yours, your parents, or whatever, this video will help you out on planning a low budget wedding. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we even got married officially, everyone told us weddings are expensive and that we probably end up spending way more than we planned. And in a way, they are right. That's why you need to set your budget under your money spending goal. If you set it under, you'll end up spending what you actually want. On September 20th, 2025, we got married with about 80 people in our attendance, including vendors and workers, and we were able to have a beautiful wedding without going into debt. When I say including workers, I don't know about you guys, but we actually fed our workers. Like, we paid them, we tipped them, and they got a meal. So we included them in our catering count for guests. The first thing we did was set a realistic budget. Well, actually, the first thing we did was set a date and the time of month I wanted to get married, and then we set a budget. They kind of happened simultaneously. We knew we did not want to start our marriage with wedding debt. So we tried keeping our wedding around 5,000 mark and no more than that. But this does not include like dress costs, suit costs, or anything like that. We decided to take that out of our own stuff, but I will tell you guys how much I spent on my dress. Of course, some categories went over budget and others came under budget, but having a budget from the beginning helped us make decisions throughout the planning process and really put our foot down with the people that we're coordinating with. Like, hey, this is how much we're going to spend. If you're not willing to make that cost, we'll make it work for ourselves and do it on our own. But if you can help within this budget, that is fantastic. That's awesome. Here's what we were looking for. One thing that I do want to mention is that our rings are not included in this budget, as well as our like wedding attire. I did have like an after party dress that was pretty cheap, and they basically cost the same as the wedding dress. It is very cheap. So when I say your wedding budget was under 5,000, I'm talking about the wedding itself, not our rings. I think my ring was like $2,000 itself. Gaze was about, I think, 1,000. Let's start with the venue. We got married at a local church not too far from our house, and I'm so glad that we did, because the morning of the wedding, I kid you not, I forgot the wedding rings. Like, I got there, we were having a good time. Like, guys, I didn't bring the ring, so we had to go back in the cars. My maid of honor, my best friend Savannah, you guys met her, and Amaya, clearly, this is my cousin, who we have the YouTube channel together. But we had to turn around and go get those rings, because how do you get married without a ring? I'm personally not going to share the name of the church for obvious reasons, but one reason we chose it was because my husband's church had hosted several events there before, including birthday parties and graduation ceremonies. So because of that, I've already had a good rapport with the church, and they had a good rapport with us. So they already know, okay, things are going to go fine and dandy with this family. Like, we've hosted them so many times. We love them, and the parties are great. So we already knew it was affordable, and we knew the space would work for the number of guests that we wanted to invite. Also, that coordinator also was with Gabe's church, and she helped coordinate all those other parties. So we knew that she did a fantastic job, and she was awesome. Also, at this venue, Um, they did have strict rules. Like if you had alcohol, we did have to buy insurance for our wedding. We did have to buy insurance, which wasn't that much money. I think it was under $100, which we didn't expect to have to buy insurance, and that wasn't included in the budget. So we kind of just paid that out of pocket, if that makes sense, outside of the money that we got for wedding. There's something else that I want to say about this thing. Oh, strict rules like you can't have any live fires. You can have um real glass, even though we did use real glass for the centerpieces, but you can have like real glasses to drink out of. So we were limited in that aspect, but everything went fine. They did have their rules, we followed the rules. And if you did alcohol, you had to like sign a waiver and I think pay extra funding, not even including the alcohol, but we don't drink and we didn't want any alcohol at our wedding. Nobody to bring any alcohol or anything like that. So that wasn't a problem for us. We did not have any alcohol, which can also be a high cost item for people. So if you want to work on a budget, just eliminate alcohol. People don't need to drink. You don't need to drink to have a good time. So just leave it out. You don't need it. It's not a necessity. As for the venue itself, it didn't include very much. Also, they had a rule that we could use like their entertainment area, but we could not do the wedding inside of the church, which is also why we chose to do it all in one. Because if that were the case, we would have done all one. Like the reception would have been set up, and then we would have just got married at the church. We also thought about getting married at my church, but that's all the way like 20 minutes from where we were gonna get married, and we just did not want to make that commute. So we sacrificed and did an all one wedding. So if you get married at a church and they have like a separate entertainment area, but they will allow you to get married in the actual church, that's awesome. That's great. And you wouldn't have to have an all in one wedding. Since we eliminated the decorators and we took volunteers in for decorations, the dilemma was that if we did the wedding ceremony with just chairs, we would have to have people break down everything and then move and coordinate all the tables. But where would we put the guests in the meantime? Outside? No. So that was our dilemma, and that's why we chose to do an all in one, and it actually worked out more budget friendly. I don't even know if it would make that much of a difference, but one place to decorate, we just had to move a couple things, and then that was it. Also, if you want a quick wedding, like how I did, I was like, I want it in under 30 minutes. The quicker, the better. Like, I want to eat. I was hungry walking down the aisle. I should have brought snacks. Another tip: bring snacks. You won't be hungry. We also had a very early wedding. Also, I'm getting on a whole tangent. Anyway, yes, that's basically an overview of the venue and why we chose to do things the way that we did. We did have access to the space, the tables, the chairs, and that was pretty much it. We could not remove any posters that they had hung up. Like they had so many freaking rules, but I wasn't going to complain because it was the best deal that I had found. And I also didn't do too much research on different churches. I just didn't have the energy of time. I was still in my BSM program, so I didn't have time for that. They had offered tablecloth rentals, but we had used the ones from our wedding coordinator instead. She was handing them to us for free. The venue itself cost $820, but part of that included a security deposit. After the wedding, because there were no damages, we received our deposit back in the mail as a check, and I'm pretty sure we used that towards our debt as well. Instead of mailing traditional invitations, we used envelope. I think that's what's called the website. I will put like a screenshot here. I forget the website. And we sent electronic invitations. Our budget was only $100 for the invitations. When you start pricing out printed invitation envelopes, postage, RSVP cards, and all of that, the cost added up really fast. And using digital invitations saved us money and made it easier to track RSVPs. Now let's talk about the fun part, decorations, and the most stressful part. Because you're like, oh, how is everything going to correlate? I hope everything goes cohesively together. So originally we only budgeted for $300 for decorations. And looking back on it now, that kind of seems ridiculous. Like $300, what are you gonna get for that? You can barely get groceries for $300 now. But in reality, we spent closer to $800, which is more realistic. 800, $900 ish. Decorations end up being one of the categories where we underestimate the cost drastically. Okay. And originally, we were going to hire somebody else that we knew that did decorations very, very well, but she wanted $2,400. I'm like, I was in the wrong profession. I should have been a decorator. Because what do you mean $2,400? Like, we didn't even have anything extravagant. And to rent her items were like the cost of just buying the items yourself. Like, it was just astronomical. We were like, is there any way you could do like a price cut, whatever? Like, this is something that see my husband in diapers. Like, everyone that we hired is either friends with my husband since like birth or they helped raise him and they're part of the church. But her pricing was just And I understand, like, you want your time and your efforts, but the stuff that we had, like I said, decorating took probably an hour. I'm not gonna pay somebody $2,400 for an hour of work. Like, no, that was her like flat rate, like no like hourly thing. Um, so that just wasn't for us. So we asked a group of our friends, most of them like business friends, can you guys come and help us decorate? Maid of Honor helped, Amaya helped, like, and it all worked out. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. It came together. It was beautiful. Love it. Like I said, I kind of spoiled it. We worked closely with our wedding coordinator and had several meetings where we went through everything we already had and owned, everything they had available, and everything we still needed to purchase for myself. Most of the stuff I purchased on Amazon. I think there was like one thing that I got from Dollar General. And you guys, do not sleep on Dollar General. I bought a bunch of like two different heights of vases from Dollar General for super cheap, like $1 each. I think I still have some of them, or I'm not sure if I gave them to the wedding coordinator. But also, since she gave us a really, really big discount, like huge discount. Like, if you guys don't know how much wedding coordinators cost, she gave us the biggest discounts of our life because she knew my husband's and knew my husband since he was a baby, like in diapers. And as a like a thank you, we let her have some of the stuff that we bought. Like, we had, I think we gave her the chair covers. I think we gave her like another balloon arch or something like that. The tablecloths that we use, I think I kept like maybe 4 of them just in case like when we move out, I want to use them for the house or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I got those from Dollar General or Amazon. A lot of stuff, honestly, I bought last minute on Amazon because if you don't like it and it wasn't the best, you can return it back to Amazon. So get your money back. Just saying. Just putting that out there. If you don't like it, and it didn't meet your expectations, to return it. Okay? You can use it and you're like, I'm gonna use it, but I don't really like it, I won't keep it. Amazon has really good return policy. So things that you know that aren't going to be urgently needed to be bought, I would kind of wait maybe like a month or two before. So that way you still have that return window. Just a little dip. Some of our decorations were borrowed from our wedding coordinator, and others were purchased ourselves, like I said, through Amazon, Dollar General, most of them through Amazon. We also did DIY parts of our wedding, including the napkins, our party favorites, which I have right here. um, I hand wrote about 100 of these. I had my dad go to Costco to buy a big bag of Hershey Kisses, and we also do have like an online storefront business, so we use a lot. Whoever like won our wedding game got like a basket of home goods from our website, and I just wrote on it. I don't even know if you can see. Like, I tied the cheat, whatever this is called, the little rope, whatever. I tied that. The bottles I got them from Amazon, when you buy the bottles, the lids don't stay. So I took the end of my heel and I pleated every single one of these, and it made the lid stay on really tight. But the thing is, when you don't laugh at me, guys, okay? You gotta do what you gotta do. But when you pleat these, it has to be on when you pleat them, or you run the risk of pleating them too hard and not letting it be able to screw on at all. I took the bottom of my heel because I couldn't find the mallet, and your heel was basically like a mallet because I kind of don't. And I pleated every single one of these. This is another one of them. This is a better one. Like, it's pleated all around, and the lid stays on tightly instead of returning them because I do. I was like, I don't have no other option, and that was the solution for me. I am a solution minded person. I will make it work, and it worked for us. And I hand wrote all of the notes that are on there. It says, "A sweet kiss from us to you," and the other one said, "Sealed with a kiss. Thanks for celebrations or celebrating," with Zoe and Gabe handwritten with our date. And I did that 100 times. And these little tags, I believe, came with these bottles, and I just had to buy the string individually. It did come with some string, but it was not nearly enough that I needed. So that was an example of our DIY. And I think I have a picture of the napkins that I DIY'd somewhere. ChatGPT actually helped me design that. And then we also bought some baby's breath to put in between the napkins. Even though we spent more than expected, I still loved how everything turned out. Even like the little surprise art coordinator, like, she went all out. Like, for the little amount of money that we spent with her and that we paid her, She did phenomenal. I love her. And the night before the wedding was honestly one of my favorite memories. Instead of having like a traditional rehearsal dinner party, we had like a little, let's have some dinner, let's eat together, and then after we are done rehearsing, you guys are gonna help me decorate. Like fantastic. So it was my maid of honor who helped. The bridesmaids, the groomsmen, some of our wedding guests, like the groomsmen, had like wives and stuff like that who we were also friends with, and they helped with the decor. And then also some people that weren't even invited to the wedding that we knew from business, they were nice enough to come and help us freaking decorate for free. Like, hello. And also our parents helped. They came a little bit later because they brought the for the food. We had pizza. They brought the water. I think we had. I'm not sure if they brought dessert. I don't know, but the boys ate the pizza up. I think I had like one slice. But all in all, everyone worked together and we came together as a team, which is the best thing you could have when doing a low budget wedding is support system when people are willing to help you even without getting anything in return. And that probably took about an hour for us to do. And then our wedding coordinator basically kicked us out because she wanted to surprise us with extra decorations. And she's like, "All right, Zoe, you need to go. You need to go." Like I think we left around 9 o'clock. We started at 6. So rehearsal was probably like 2 hours because most of my friends didn't have any coordination. Like, but looking back, having all those people come together and help made the wedding feel even more special. Like both the decorations, I could have had no decorations and we would have been fine. Now that we're out of that and we're on the topic of kind of like decorations and stuff like that, let's talk about the food. Like I said, everyone we knew, so our caterers offered 3 different packages and we chose package 1. It was the cheapest option and we knew that we didn't need anything really extravagant. Package included 2 entrees, 2 sides, salad, rolls, tea or lemonade, plates, cups, utensils, setup service, and serving equipment. I think I did. She asked me like what type of plates I want. I kind of sent her like a link to an Amazon of the plates that I wanted, and she got that and coordinated everything. She decorated the table herself, and the total cost came out to around $850, which is super cheap for food. If you guys do not know, food at a wedding could be over $1,000. That was a deal for us for package 1 for the amount of food that we got. That was the deal. I'm not sure if they go to Costco, but that we're forever grateful for them. So one thing that's funny is that we never did a food tasting. Like I think I had their food, like they cater at the church and stuff like that, and it was pretty good. We also never did a cake testing because the cake lady that we already knew her. We already had several of her desserts, so we're just like, yeah, come do our cake for our wedding, please. And we just trusted our vendors and hoped for the best because we already knew them, we trusted them, and thankfully everything worked out perfectly. Also for our cake, we did like a 2-tier cake, but only the top layer was the real cake. And when we chose strawberry flavor, and the rest of the stuff we chose to do cupcakes. That was the cheapest option for us, and we got all that for the price. I would do have a table of how we budgeted it. It's like I made our own table, like budget, actual costs, and then deposits, like that you have to do before. I made that table and I will insert that here or whenever in the video that makes sense. And hopefully you guys can get a good idea. But yeah, I think we did roughly 100 cupcakes and then a 2-tier cake with only the top one being the real cake, which is strawberry flavor. And I oh y'all this might go into my rant at the end, but I only got to taste my cake one time. Somehow it got served out and distributed amongst other people. And the only time I got to taste it was for photos that me and Gabe did with the first bite of the cake, first cut of the cake. That was the only time I got to taste my cake. For the cupcakes, we did vanilla and chocolate, which is really good. Um, but our cake there, like she felt so bad that I didn't get to like enjoy the cake that for or like a month after our wedding, she made me another strawberry cake for free. Like that is top of the line. That's what I'm talking about. Like having a great support system. Like I forever love her for that. And that cake was amazing. I ate it all up in 3 days. The looks of it, our guests seemed to really enjoy the food. The caterers actually served each plate rather than having guests scoop it themselves. We had it kind of like a buffet style, but like serving buffet style. Like people had to get up and it wasn't like served to the tables because we didn't have any servers. Also, cut the cost of that. We didn't want to pay extra for that. The only people who actually got brought food directly to them were our parents and grandparents. The ceremony itself lasted probably about 30 minutes. Like it was not long at all. I did not want a long wedding. Like I was very adamant that this wedding will be as quick as we can. Like I'm pretty sure it wasn't even 30 minutes. It might have been 20 to 25 minutes, if I'm being honest. We did end up inviting 100 guests, and about 80 people attended, including our vendors and workers. A lot of people actually couldn't make it. Like my family from Germany couldn't make it. A lot of my friends that had just moved, they couldn't make it. My dad walked me down the aisle, and that was one of my favorite moments of the entire day because I was the first out of my siblings to not to get married, but to have a wedding. All the rest of them eloped. Like they didn't have any weddings. So I was the first one to actually have a wedding, and I did. I personally wanted to elope. I didn't want to spend any money on a wedding, like at all. 5,000 was a lot for me, and I was like, I just don't like. It hurts my heart to spend that on one day. Like, are you freaking kidding me? You know what I could spend $5,000 on? Like, hello, I could be getting a new something, a new bag, a new something that is better than a wedding. Honestly,
I also want to mention that it's a smart idea to ask for money only gifts, whether it be cash or like a second party software prices, whatever, to add to that in items. Because we end up paying about $1,000 in total for this wedding if you count the money that we got back in gifts, which was based on our wedding budget.
but since it was Gabe's, he's the first to get married. He's the older sibling, the older cousin. He was the first to get married out of like, I guess you could say like the kids in his family. So, and I'm the first to get married, and we just wanted to have that basically for our parents. So you're welcome. The compromise was we were going to have a wedding, but on a low budget. And people need to understand I didn't want to spend $5,000 on a wedding at all. I wanted to elope, like basically have like a small family dinner and celebrate our marriage. That was it. Like maybe $1,000, like rent out a fine dining restaurant, $2,000 minimum for like a dinner and a celebration. Cool. Leave it at that. But since I'm the first out of my siblings to have a wedding, not to get married, but to have an actual wedding, and Gabe was the first of the kids in his family, he's the oldest son, oldest cousin, that we compromised and that we were going to have a wedding. We personally did not pay for our wedding. My parents paid for our wedding. They gave us X amount of dollars, and whatever we spent, that's what we spent, and the rest was ours to keep. So we made a smart decision. This is our wedding. This is our budget, and the rest we're going to put towards. I went to nursing school debt. Gabe has a car, so that went towards his car debt. My car was paid off, so that was the only debt that we had: my student loans and his car debt. We wanted to pay off everything so we could set ourselves up to get a house. And then right now we're living at home to save money. So we really set ourselves up for success in this marriage. Like none of that first year stress that people go through. Anyway, tangent. That was the compromise, and $5,000 with the budget. Also, people are getting on you. We had a lot of freaking backlash. We did have a lot of support, but a lot of backlash from like our parents, grandparents, and they're like, "Oh, you're only inviting X amount of people. Put your foot down. If you, in order to have a good budget, food is the one of the most expensive things on the menu. The more people you buy, the more mouths that you have to feed. People need to understand that this is your wedding. I've had several. This is our wedding. We're gonna invite who we want to invite. I'm not worried about your aunt, my second aunt or whatever. They have not seen me grow up, and they do not text me happy birthday. I don't see them on Christmas. I don't see them on major holidays. They do not need to be at my wedding. Okay? Put your foot down. Block out the outside noise. At the end of the day, when you go into debt, these people aren't going to be paying your bills. Okay? So bump what your parents are saying. Bump what your grandparents are saying about, oh my God, like they're going to be so mad that they didn't get invited to the wedding. They'll be okay. I haven't talked to them since I was maybe 2. They'll be okay. I promise you they'll be okay. So put your foot down and stick to what you want. Don't listen to outside noise. It only matters what you and your husband want, or you and your significant other want at the end of the day. Just a little tip on that, because I could make a whole separate video just on that. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about the funniest moments. One of the funniest moments was during the ring exchange, and I did not even realize it until after the wedding, and somebody pointed it out. So somehow I managed to put the ring on the wrong finger. So instead of putting it on his left hand, I put it on his right hand. But like the coordination, I just probably like I was saying I didn't do the math. I didn't do the calculations in my head. So thankfully we laughed about it later and fixed it quickly before the pictures. I think so. I think it was before the pictures. I don't know. At the time I was kind of like, oh, that's embarrassing. Like, oh, wrong finger. But now it's one of my favorite memories to think about. It's hilarious. Your wedding's not going to be perfect. You can practice it a million times It's not going to be perfect. After the ceremony, we moved right into the reception, which, like I said, was a seamless process because we did an all-in-one wedding. Also, another thing that we did not choose to do, and people were upset, we got backlash about it. No cell phones. I put it, no cell phones allowed at the wedding. I don't need you broadcasting my wedding on Facebook Live. If I want a freaking show for people to have, I would have a show for people to have. So no phones were allowed. I also don't want people taking pictures of me and me not approving the pictures. Like, I hate that. It's something that I hate, which is I don't know how famous people do it. Taking pictures of me and I did not approve them and just posting them. No. I hate that. I cannot stand that. I know some people still did bring their phones in, but I didn't see anybody like pull it out. I didn't want any alarms, any notifications. People do not listen. So we decided no phones, but that wasn't really a budget thing. It was a preference thing. We also said no kids. The only kids that we had were the flower girls. So Gabe's girl cousin, and she's also the only girl cousin. The rest are boys. I have 10 grandkids, which is crazy. So the flower girl and my niece, that was it, and it all worked out. Nobody, I think 14 or younger was there at the wedding, so it was good. All my cousins got to come except for the ones I only invited one of my cousins on my dad's, no, maybe four, because the ones in Germany I invited, and then one of my aunts, one of her kids I invited as well. And then the other cousin that they literally begged me to invite didn't even show up. Didn't even I don't even have that man's number. Didn't show up. But I said that he could show up because one of my friends were coming. After the ceremony, we moved right into the reception. One thing that is unique about our wedding was guests were already seated at their reception tables during the wedding, which I explained briefly before, but now I think I'm gonna kind of go more into detail about that. We did an all-in-one setup, which helped simplify things. We created a how well do you know the couple game, and guests filled it out while waiting for us to return. We also had like an interactive where somebody read the game. It was like every table was trying to like work together. People actually had a lot of fun doing that. I think Gabe's cousin actually won the basket. And now for the funniest moment of the entire reception. After everybody's done eating and all the fun things, I believe we had like the parents dances. So I was with I don't remember if we did our couples dance first or if we did our parents dance first. It was like father, daughter, son, mother. So we actually planned for me to dance with my dad while Gabe danced with his mom, like simultaneously to the same song. And then we were supposed to switch. They were supposed to like hand us to each other and dance. And I'm pretty sure we did do that, but then also at the same time, we were supposed to swap again. And I ended up with Gabe's mom, and Gabe ended up with my dad. My dad's just like this. Like, he refused to dance with another man, like, close. Like, he was like, nah, I'm not doing that. He's not touching. I gotta find that video. I'm pretty sure there's a video of it, but simple enough, right? Like, have fun. Like, your wedding is not gonna be perfect. Just make the most out of it. It does not have to be how you guys practice it. And it was wonderful. One of the best moments. I need to find the video so I can share it with you guys. The part that everybody's waiting for, let's talk numbers. So here's actually what we spent. This is actually a perfect time to put the table that I created. And if you need to add anything, just add it. Like, this is through Word, okay? So here's what we actually spent. The venue was $820, which I said the deposit will get distributed back got distributed back to us at the end. Food and drinks, $850. Wedding coordinators were actually $800, but we actually ended up giving them like $100 tip because we were so thankful that they were even willing to do that. Photography and DJ, this came as a package deal because actually our best friends, his wife, well, his fiance now, they're getting married. I'm so excited. They're getting married in October this year. Like, phenomenal photography, and he DJs, and they came like as a package deal, and it was awesome. $975 together. Decorations, $800, which we spent, and we coordinated that with our coordinators, the wedding cake, and the cupcakes. In total, $185. Invitations, $100 flat rate. I think that's the only thing that was like on budget for us. Our biggest surprise expense was definitely decorations. Like, was not expecting that. I thought food cost was gonna be way higher than it was, so we kind of like distributed that down into the decorations. Our biggest savings came from using digital invitations, having friends and families help with setup, and choosing an affordable venue. You can make the best out of whatever situation, whether venue. We were also going to have it in my backyard, but the dilemma was there's like people in the neighborhood, and obviously they can come and go as they please, but we were going to have it in our backyard. It's big enough to have a wedding in the backyard. It would have been beautiful looking over the pond and the lake.
Another thing that I included in my budget for decorations was the flower arrangements. So for my flowers, I got real flowers. I ordered it online from an online flower shop, and I had it set to be delivered 1 to 2 days before the actual wedding. And then I stored them in the fridge. I could do some cuts with it. And then this is showing the day after the wedding. And I wrapped it in the same string that I had for the gift party favors. And then for my bridesmaids, I ordered them fake flowers from Amazon. As for my hair and nails, I had a hairstylist I went to since I was 14 that did my hair for free, and I did my own nails with press-ons.
If I could give one piece of advice to someone planning a wedding, it's this, like, or these things, because it's not just one singular thing. I kind of shared a little bit about that throughout the video of what I would do, but I would kind of reiterate some of those things. So number one, don't focus so much on perfection. Like literally, I put the ring on the wrong finger. Like it don't get no dumber than that, okay? Dumber. It don't get no dumber than that. Our first dance handout completely fell apart. That's okay. I can't dance. Gabe can't dance, and we still did it. We did a phenomenal job. If you already know that you like the food, skip the food tasting. If you already know that you're gonna like the cake, and you know the the cake decorator, whatever, skip the cake tasting. You don't need to do all that. I don't think we didn't even do engagement photos. Honestly, nothing went according to plan. We did have plans to do engagement photos, but it wasn't really important. We're like, we're gonna have pictures on our wedding day. We have pictures of us getting like actual the engagement. Like, you know, people like do their engagement photos of them like getting proposed to, and they do like the engagement photos that they like send to. We didn't do that. Like, I'm not spending all my money for just like whatever. Some things, whatever's important to you, do that. It just wasn't important to us to have those. Like we already had him proposing to us. Like those were key moments that we wanted. Like in the moment pictures. All in all, nothing went as planned, and it was still one of the best things of our lives, and a memory that our family will remember, because first wedding for a lot of people. At the end of the day, your guests aren't going to remember whether your napkins were matched perfectly and how the decor was. They're going to remember the feeling and how it felt in the moment. They're going to remember celebrating you, or celebrating with you, celebrating you guys and your love for each other. And that is what matters most. And you guys' happiness, and that you just really enjoyed your day. If you're planning for a wedding on a budget, I hope this video helps show you that you can have a beautiful wedding without spending tens of thousands of dollars. Also, comment what month you're getting married, and also like this video if you're getting married soon. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your favorite wedding memory was, or what are you looking forward to about your upcoming wedding if you haven't already got married. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.